Ladies and gentlemen, the cost of wasted potential. You might be talented. You might be gifted. People may have told you your whole life that you've got so much potential. But let me be clear. Your potential means absolutely nothing without action. The world is full of people who could have been great, should have been successful, might have changed everything, but didn't. Not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked execution. If you're not willing to act, if you're not ready to grind, then that potential you've been blessed with, it becomes your burden. It becomes regret. You were born with something special, but if you don't move, if you don't take action now, you'll die with it still inside you. Watch this all the way through, because this might be the turning point that finally pushes you to stop waiting and start executing. Let's begin. Everyone has a dream. Everyone imagines the life they could live, the success, the impact, the freedom. But the difference between those who live it and those who only fantasize is one simple word: action. Not ideas, not intentions, action. Think about this. How many people have you known who were incredibly talented but never went anywhere in life? Straight-A students, star athletes, natural-born leaders who now live average lives filled with what-ifs and maybes. Why? Because talent without effort is just potential, and potential without action is wasted energy. You have one life, and every second you sit and wait for the perfect moment, you're losing. The truth is, there's never going to be a perfect moment. The stars will never align just right. The world won't hand you a clean path and a guaranteed outcome. You have to move. You have to take that first step, even when you're uncertain. You don't need more time, you need more intensity. More commitment, more urgency. There are no prizes for people who almost started. No rewards for people who waited until they felt like it. The results come to those who move first, push hard, and keep going, even when it gets uncomfortable. Potential is seductive. It tells you, you've got time. It whispers, you're different. You don't need to rush. But here's the hard truth. Potential is useless if it stays trapped inside. The graveyard is full of people who had greatness inside them, but took it to their tombs because they waited too long, because they never acted. This isn't about motivation. It's about movement. It's about building discipline and using every single day to chip away at the goal. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you're scared, even if you fail, because failing while trying is better than failing by default. The most dangerous place you can live is in your own head. That's where potential likes to hide. That's where you'll overthink, second guess, and stall. But life doesn't reward potential. It rewards results. You've got a decision to make today. Are you going to be just another person with great potential? Or are you going to be one of the few who actually backs it up with action? You can rewrite your future starting now, but only if you stop waiting. Act now. Move now. Build now. Because what you don't start today becomes your regret tomorrow. Talent is just the ticket in. Work is what keeps you there. You hear it all the time. He's a natural. She was born for this. And while talent can give you a head start, it's work ethic that takes you to the finish line. The truth is, in every room full of winners, you'll find people who weren't the most gifted, but they were the most relentless. Let's get something straight. Potential might get you noticed, but action earns respect. Feels great to stay. Sal, no one cares how naturally good you are. If you're not out there putting in the hours, grinding when it's hard, showing up when it's inconvenient, the world is watching what you do, not what you're capable of doing. There are people far less talented than you, living the life you want, because they worked for it. They weren't waiting for the perfect opportunity. They were creating it every single day. While you were planning or thinking it through, they were out there building habits, stacking wins, and moving forward. The difference? Action. Not ideas, not motivation, habits. You don't get paid for your potential. You don't level up in life because of how good you could be. You win because you show up consistently. You train when no one's watching. You execute when no one believes in you. You grind when others sleep, when others scroll, when others talk.
Potential is fragile. It fades over time if it isn't fueled.
You can be blessed with the sharpest mind, the fastest reflexes, the most creativity. But if you don't push, challenge, and discipline yourself, it all goes to waste. The best ability in the world means nothing without the availability to use it. This is why habits matter more than hype. Motivation fades. Discipline doesn't. Habits are the quiet actions that build results over time. You want a better life? Then build better habits. Stop chasing lightning bolts of inspiration and start laying bricks. One rep, one task, one sacrifice at a time. When you're tired, work anyway. When it's hard, lean into it. When no one claps for you, clap for yourself. Then get back to the grind. Because winners aren't made in moments of glory. They're built in the shadows. They're built in silence. And that's where you need to go. Into the shadows. Into the work. Into the repetition. Not for praise, not for recognition, but because you made a choice to not let your potential rot, to not let it die inside you. You made a promise to act, so hold yourself to it. No more waiting, no more dreaming, no more someday. Today is that day. Now is your time. Let's go. You can't think your way to success. You have to move. Let's kill the myth right now. The myth that planning, vision boards, or reading 10 books a week will change your life without execution. That you can think, wish, visualize, or manifest your way into success. You can't. Not without action. Not without putting in the sweat. You can outthink everyone, but if you don't outwork them, it means nothing. Your brain can build a castle in your head, but your hands have to lay every brick. You know what the graveyard is full of? Unlived potential. Great ideas that were never started. Dreams that died because the person refused to act. And that doesn't have to be your story, but it will be if you don't move. This is where most people fall off, the execution phase. Everyone wants to start a business until they realize it means waking up early, failing often, showing up exhausted. Everyone wants the dream body until they realize it means eating clean, training hard, and being consistent for years. Everyone wants freedom until they learn it costs time, energy, and patience upfront. People want the rewards, but few are willing to pay the price. But not you. You're here because you're tired of standing still. You're done making excuses. You're ready to do what most won't, to get what most never will. Because success isn't reserved for the lucky or the chosen. It's reserved for the committed, those who act when they don't feel like it, those who show up without applause, those who build when no one's watching. You have to stop thinking and start doing. You have to stop preparing and start building. You have to stop dreaming and start executing. Success isn't owned. It's rented, and the rent is due every single day. There are no weekends off, no shortcuts, no one coming to save you. You either move or you lose. Your potential is a loaded weapon, but you've got to pull the trigger. Every excuse you make is another inch of progress lost. Every day you delay is one step further from the life you say you want. The time will pass anyway. And the question is, will you pass with it or will you rise? You're not here for ordinary. You weren't born to blend in. You were built to make an impact, but it only happens through motion. So take that step. Do the thing. Make the call. Go the extra rep. Wake up earlier. Push past your limit, because your life is waiting on the other side of action. Let's go. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Let's talk about comfort. That warm, familiar place that feels safe. Your bed at 5 a.m. That second helping of junk food. The I'll do it tomorrow mindset. Comfort is a trap. It's a slow death. It's where dreams go to rot. You will never grow in the place where you feel most comfortable. You don't build muscle on the couch. You don't get clarity from procrastinating. You don't become great by doing what's easy. You become great by doing what's necessary. Understand this. Your potential will never survive your comfort zone. Why? Because potential is unlocked only through struggle, through resistance, through repetition, through pushing yourself harder when your body says stop, through taking action even when your brain is screaming, not today. You want to change your life? You're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to work through the pain, the doubt, the fear. You're going to have to say no to what's easy and yes to what's right. Again and again. No one respects the person who talks big and delivers nothing. No one follows the dreamer who never acts. The world only pays attention to results, and results are born in discomfort. Ask any winner, any athlete, entrepreneur, leader, creator. They didn't get there by feeling good all the time. They got there by choosing growth over comfort, by doing the reps when no one was clapping, by building when they were dead tired, by committing no matter what. Your potential is like a seed, but unless it's pressed, unless it's broken open through struggle, it never blooms. So what does this mean for you? It means waking up earlier than you want to, saying no to distractions, showing up on the days you don't feel like it, trading comfort for clarity, and laziness for legacy. You can either chase comfort or chase your calling, but you can't do both. Discomfort is the price of transformation. Discomfort is where the breakthroughs happen. Discomfort is your invitation to rise. So today, choose the path that scares you. Choose the one with resistance. Choose the one that forces you to level up. Because comfort is killing your momentum. And if you want to unleash your potential, you've got to be willing to step into the fire. You've got to burn the excuses. You've got to embrace the grind. The people who change the world, they don't run from discomfort. They run toward it. The discipline blueprint. How winners operate daily. Here's the hard truth. Success isn't about motivation. It's about discipline. Motivation is loud, but it's temporary. It flares up and burns out. But discipline, that's the quiet force behind every winner you admire. It's the cold, consistent hammer that builds legacies. You can't wait until you feel like working. You can't wait until life gets easier, or your schedule clears up, or you're in the mood. Winners show up whether they feel like it or not. That's the difference. They don't rely on hype. They rely on habit. They rely on systems. They've trained themselves to do the work no matter what, because they know that potential without discipline is a wasted gift. And wasted potential is one of the saddest things in the world. Let me say that again. Wasted potential is one of the saddest things in the world. All the talent, all the ability, all the ideas, and nothing to show for it. Not because they weren't good enough, but because they weren't consistent enough. So how do winners operate? They schedule their grind. They don't wait for inspiration. They build a structure. They carve out time every day to get closer to the goal. And they guard that time like their life depends on it, because it does. They eliminate distractions. They cut the noise. They know that discipline is saying yes to your future and no to every excuse trying to steal it. They track progress. They set clear goals. They treat every day like a brick in the foundation they're building. Because if you build with discipline, your results will become undeniable. It's not the person who works the hardest once in a while who wins. It's the one who works every single day, like it's their last chance. That's what separates the average from the elite. Discipline is your daily investment in greatness. It's the reason some people rise and others stay stuck. It's the reason dreams are realized, not just imagined. It's the bridge between potential and performance. So let me ask you, how do you show up when no one's watching? Because that's where your life is being built. In the moments no one sees. In the hours where it's just you, your goal, and your grind. No applause, no praise, just discipline. That's where champions are forged. That's where empires are made. That's where you separate the talkers from the doers. So today, don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for a perfect day. Build the habit. Create the structure. Get to work. Your future self isn't hoping for motivation. They're counting on your discipline. Consistency over chaos. The power of showing up every day. You don't need a miracle. You need consistency. You need to show up when it's boring. You need to show up when you're tired. You need to show up when your mind is trying to talk you out of it. And this is where 99% of people drop out, because they confuse excitement with commitment. But those who win, they show up anyway. Let this sink in. Action repeated daily becomes identity, and identity becomes destiny. You want to be a high performer? Then act like one. Every single day. Not when it's convenient. Not when you're hyped. Daily. With discipline. With intent. Too many people start strong, then disappear. They sprint for 1 week, then vanish for 3. But results don't come from bursts. They come from the grind. You don't need a new plan. You need to work the plan you already have, longer and harder than you want to. It's not sexy. It's not always exciting. But it's real. And it's exactly how real success is built. The world will always chase the next trend, the next shortcut, the next hack. But you? You build your future the long way, with relentless consistency. Let them chase hype. You chase habits, let them seek validation. You seek progress, let them talk about it. You be about it. Because at the end of the day, all that noise fades. The only thing that remains is the life you built through effort and repetition. You don't rise to the level of your motivation, level of. You fall to the level of your training, your routine, your systems. So build systems that don't care how you feel. Build habits that run on autopilot. Create rituals that keep you locked in, even on your worst days. The difference between the person you are now and the person you want to be isn't luck. It's the repetitions you're willing to put in without applause. You can't control the results instantly, but you can control the input daily. You can choose to show up. You can choose to move forward. You can choose to win the day, even if it's by 1 inch. And those inches, they add up. Inches become feet. Feet become miles. Miles become momentum. Momentum becomes legacy. But only if you keep going. Consistency is your superpower. Not talent, not motivation, not hype. Consistency. That's the edge. That's what changes lives. That's what will make you unstoppable. So remember, anyone can do it once. Only the committed do it daily. Be one of them. Pressure is a privilege. Stop running from responsibility. Let's make one thing clear. Pressure isn't your enemy. It's your invitation. An invitation to rise. An invitation to perform. An invitation to become what you were built to be. Too many people run from pressure. They avoid responsibility. They dodge commitment, all because it feels too heavy. But what if I told you the weight is what makes you stronger? You say you want success, but success lives in pressure. You say you want greatness, but greatness is built in uncomfortable places. You can't keep hiding from the very thing that's designed to shape you. Pressure is how diamonds are made. So stop waiting for things to get easier. Stop praying for less responsibility. Start preparing to carry more. Because if you can't handle pressure, you can't handle success. Responsibility means trust. It means you're being counted on. It means you have an opportunity to lead, to deliver, to grow. Think about it. When you're under pressure, your instincts surface. Your training is tested. Your character is revealed. And that moment right there, that's where transformation happens. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're not supposed to step up anyway. You're not supposed to have all the answers. You're supposed to learn in the fire. You're not supposed to wait for perfect timing. You're supposed to create the opportunity by showing up relentlessly. The people you admire, the legends, the leaders, the top 1%, they didn't rise in comfort. They were forged in the chaos, in the grind, in the pressure. They were willing to carry the weight others refused to lift. That's the truth. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But the crown belongs to the one who doesn't drop the weight. So next time you feel pressure, don't run. Don't retreat. Don't complain. Breathe, focus, execute. Say to yourself, this pressure means I'm in the game. This pressure means I'm alive. This pressure means I'm being called to level up. Oh, wait, and then answer that call. Loudly, boldly, relentlessly. Because when the world sees pressure as a curse, you'll see it as a gift. And that's what separates the few who rise from the many who fall. Finish what you started. Turn potential into power. This is it. The final hour. You've made it this far, not because it was easy, but because you're built for more. And now, it's time to finish what you started. Because potential without follow-through is a tragedy. It doesn't matter what dreams live in your head if you never bring them to life. It doesn't matter how much talent you've been gifted if you never put it to use. The world rewards action, not intention, not possibility. Action. Potential is like a loaded weapon, but it's useless unless you pull the trigger. You can sit on ideas. You can wait for the perfect timing. You can talk about all the things you're going to do, but none of that creates results. Only work creates results. Only consistency, only sacrifice, only discipline. You're not going to rise just because you can. You're going to rise because you do. Every single day, you have two options. Let your potential rot in silence, or convert that potential into power through unrelenting action. No one will remember what you could have done. They'll remember what you did. They'll remember the work you put in when no one was watching, the hours you invested when others were sleeping, the fight you gave when everything in you said quit. But you didn't, because when everyone else waits, you move. When everyone else talks, you act. When everyone else dreams, you build. That's how legacies are made. You are the author of your story. But writing a masterpiece takes grit, pain, and relentless commitment. No shortcuts, no safety nets, just raw, honest hustle. So when the excuses start creeping in, when the doubt whispers in your ear, when you feel like giving up, remember this: your potential means nothing without action. And say it again. Say it until it burns into your soul. Your potential means nothing without action. And today, right now, this hour, you choose what legacy you leave behind. Will you be remembered as someone who talked about greatness or someone who earned it? The power is in your hands. Watch me turn this into results, then get to work. If this message lit a fire inside you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. We drop a comment with your goal, and then go chase it like your life depends on it.